Greetings guys, Jay Smith here. Down at Brake Golf Range in Suffolk, JPX921 919 Hot Metal Pro. This is going to be an interesting one because this video has evolved as time's gone on. It turned out into initially it was just going to be a compare between one and the other one, no problem. But then I kind of had little ideas of how we can physically get an understanding of how each one performs when it comes to forgiveness. So you guys, when it comes to performance, yeah, you want to know how well it performs, but you also want to know, especially in the JPX range, as it's more like the game improvement iron, how they perform when it comes to you don't hit the middle. Now it's always been difficult so far to do that, but I think I've come up with a different weird and wonderful way how we can do it in a more of a graphical way so you can physically see how each iron compares to the other one. Anyway, so bear with the video because we're going to go do this stuff outside now to see how it looks and it feels, and then bear with us because the interesting bit comes soon when we come back in here and see how they all perform. So let's go outside and see how they look and feel. Now they didn't make a 900 Pro, so it's just 2. Other videos will be more like 3, so it should be a shorter video for this one. So basically you've got between the 919 and the 921, slightly different when it comes to the look. Is it a prettier golf club? Again, that's aesthetics when it comes to sole thickness, near enough identical, 1 degree differences in loft. Top lines, if anything, because there's a bit more of a like a chromed aspect on the back edge of the top line, it makes the top line look a little bit thinner. When it comes to blade length, there's not much in that. I'll see if I can get some data on the screen to see if there's much differences between everything, but there isn't. It's mainly going to be feel, if there is or is not. If you've got 919s, are you going to be jumping out there to get a set of 921s? Do you know, probably not. Mizuno aren't making a massive deal of the fact that these 921s are like a complete revolution. I said before, it's an evolution, not a revolution when it comes to this. So anyway, I've got FSX Mobile on the floor, capturing some simulators, so we'll be able to see up on the old screen. Let's give it a hit anyway. So we've got the nice 921, same shaft. So the whole idea, I've got fitting heads because of the KBS dollar taper, 120 stiff, standard length and all that lot. So obviously you guys, the shaftoids out there, can make sure that this is all done fairly. And this will all be done when it comes to hitting some premium golf balls as well, when we actually really do the performance side of things. So anyway, let's go hit one. Oh, that's a lovely one. That's a lovely feel. That's a fraction right. Release the golf club, Jay. But feel-wise, lovely. Very, very nice and high. Do you know what? Could I tell the difference between Hot Metal and Hot Metal Pro? No. Exactly the same feel. Sound-wise, I couldn't, even if I was to sort of, couldn't pick them apart. Now, looks-wise, HM Pro all day long. The Pro all day long looks so much nicer to look at. I'm a fan of a smaller club head. I've never been a great fan of chunk. Now the Hot Metal's quite a chunky club, but it's not as chunky as some have been. I mean, again, I can go back to the EZ, the old EZ cast before the 900 days. Wow, that was a big club and that was ugly. Sorry, Mizuno people, but that was a really ugly golf club. Things look a little bit better now. Oh, should I just shout 4 now? That's a nice hit. Feels lovely, but that's like right. Yeah. We'll ignore that. I mean, it's 10 yards right. I mean, it wasn't disaster, but it wasn't. I mean, it felt nice. It was just a poor result. Just me not releasing the face. Let's see if I can get this one released a bit, because going 6 yards and 10 yards right. Yeah. That's me. That's not the golf club. Feels nice though. I still can't tell the difference between this and a Hot Metal. Go on, let's hit target. Try and hit more target. There you go, that's target. Oh, it's drawing off a touch if anything. It's good though. So yeah, we're gonna have to get the 919 Hot Metal. Excuse me, YouTube cough. Can't do that nowadays. yeah, and then we'll go see how the 919 Pro. So we're going to go flick heads. Great thing is with this, obviously, a little bit of editing, clip, new head will be on. Same shaft though. So let's go flick old heads and let's go hit some. Right, as if by magic, 919 Hot Metal Pro on the end of the same shaft. Flick, editing, that idea. So, could I tell much difference between the two? No, it does look like it's got, the 919 has, well, it looks like it's got a slightly thicker top line, slightly more offset. And the blade length looks exactly the same. Can't see the sole, obviously, because it's on the floor normally, but 1 degree less loft in the old 919 Hot Metal Pro, and the back end doesn't look quite so finished. But what will difference that make to anything to do with sound? Let's go give it a hit, and then, yeah. I mean, it's... Could I tell the difference between the two? No. I'll be blatantly honest, on that shot there, I couldn't. I mean, it's gone fractionally left of target. I mean, it's a good shot. I mean, there's so little in clubs and sort of iterations between models. And again, when it comes to stuff like this, they're trying to push boundaries. Every sort of club release, they're trying to add a little bit here, take a little bit all this way, we try and do this and try and do that to try and make it more aesthetically pleasing whilst retaining forgiveness. And yeah, I mean, we won't know until I hit this a bunch of times, really, because obviously this is range balls, you can't really tell much difference between each range ball because of the differences within range balls themselves. But feel wise, they feel basically the same as the 921. That was slightly different contact, which changed the audible noise to it, to me. I can't get picky too much because they just, I mean, that's 2 yards off target. I can't complain at all. It was nice. I mean, just struggling with to pick a difference between the 921 and 911 Hot Metal. Now the Hot Metal, the Pro, the Hot Metal, yes, there was a bit of a difference. Especially going into the 900s, you go 900, 919, 921, there's a distinct kind of generational jump. Between the 919 and 921 Hot Metal Pro, I don't know if I can actually tell much difference at all. On it. On it. Could have been slightly heely, but I mean, that was on it. Anyway. Can I tell the difference between? No. No, I can't. A better man than me that could tell the difference between those. As I say, we're talking like 1 degree difference in loft, so there might be some extra ball speed from 1 degree. But I mean, I won't know until I hit this with my Game Ball Vice Pro. See how a premium golf ball works. But I'm just going to hit, you know, guys, I hit loads because I want to see how these perform when you don't quite hit the middle as well. Yeah, let's go. Get busy and just do that, and we'll come back and see how it all performs. Performance numbers time. So this is going to be quite a quick one because obviously they made a 921 Hot Metal Pro, they made a 919 Hot Metal Pro, they never made a 900 Hot Metal Pro. So very quick and easy to go through, and then afterwards we'll go through my little incarnation of forgiveness chart. Right, so got all the information on paper because there's lots of it. So anyway, I'm going to whack this up on the screen and I'm going to do it bang, 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 bang. So you're like comparing both irons at the same time. So anyway, ball speed for the JPX921 Hot Metal Pro, 125.7. Bear in mind, they're both 7 irons. There's 1 degree of loft between both of them, just one. So 125.7, 122.6. So you've got a 3 miles an hour, I wouldn't say jump, but there is a 3 mile an hour difference between the 919 and the 921. There's 1 degree of loft. That wouldn't make 3 miles an hour. So we have got a little bit of benefit when it comes to springiness of the face. Launch angle, 18.9 and 19, basically exactly the same as, it's 1 degree of loft difference, so it's, yeah, nothing. 1.1 to the right, 0.4 to the right, is basically I'm hitting within reason target. But the interesting again, backspin, exactly the same as the Hot Metal. The Hot Metal Pro follows that as well. 6,029 when it comes to the Hot Metal Pro 921, and then for the 919 5704. So there's a slight drop in spin, still very, very healthy considering we're talking about a 30 degree club. What we got, peak height is 38.6, 37.2 for the 919. So it's not, there's not much difference. It's like a yard and a bit. You can see these, there's, if you were going from an old club to a new one, to a 921, you're going to see a dramatic difference. If you're going from a 919 Hot Metal Pro to a 921 Hot Metal Pro, are you really going to see huge gains? No, not at all. But it's an incarnation, it's a evolution of the old club. So descent angle 49.5, 48 for the 919 Hot Metal Pro. So again, small differences. All those differences though do make a little bit of a difference, because you've got the carry distance of 178.4 and then the 919 Hot Metal Pro of basically 174. So just a 4-yard gain. So there are small little gains here, a bit more ball speed, a fraction, well, fraction more height, we're talking very small amounts. But 4-yard gain, it's, yeah, you take anything. Club head speed 95 and basically 95, so you can see there I'm not swinging any faster. And then dynamic loft of 24 and 24.8 is 1 degree and I'm 0.2 out. So again, it's showing there. Strikes I'll whack up on the screen there so you can see that necessarily that yeah, I'm very close to being the same on both. Now, the interesting one, the little graphic. I've done something quite unique for this set of videos. With the countless amount of information that I've got from, say, years, but I mean, since the 919's been out, I've been capturing not only my own data, but I've been capturing my clients' data as well. And the great thing with that is that with a certain amount of understanding of how can you use data, obviously some people want to draw it, some people want to fade it, some people like me, I'm trying to hit sort of fairly straight neutral shots. As long as you've got the loft for them, a consistent loft, so the ones that they don't deliver a consistent loft, you have to take out and you have to sift through the data to try and make sure you get all the right ones that you can do. Because basically what you want is you want the right delivery for the shot shape they want to hit. Club head speed the same, although you can get around club head speed by using efficiency, but I said, yeah, well, I'll go into another video if you really want to know how I've derived this little idea. But anyway, I'll whack up on the screen there. There you go. So you've got the club face pictures, anything in red is basically dead. If you can see there by the graphic, because of the fact that you've got those little bandings, green obviously in the middle, that's everyone wants to hit the middle, but no one generally always doesn't, unless you're a tour pro. But you can see there, the banding goes centre line towards the toe and also centre line towards the heel, as long as you don't get too close, because that's where the old hosel is. You can actually get fairly efficient hits from those, as long as you're vertically okay. Now, what I've done is I've gone through the rigmarole of measuring the drop-offs that you're going to get through different strike locations. So as long as the face angles are true to what we need, speeds are okay and the loft's okay, we're looking at basically strikes and what the drop-off is for those strikes. And I'm capturing hundreds and hundreds of shots here through different clients throughout time. So you can see now the difference with the 919 Hot Metal Pro and the 921 Hot Metal Pro. Now, if they made a 900 Hot Metal Pro, which they didn't, you'd have possibly seen even bigger jumps. Now, I don't know which way I'm going to put these videos up, but I've done the Hot Metal and I know the Hot Metal results over the Hot Metal Pro, and there is a distinct difference between the 900 and obviously the 921. They never made a 900 Hot Metal Pro, so the differences between the two are smaller, yet you can still see it is still pronounced more off the toe. If you're going to hit off the toe, even the 921 Hot Metal Pro, there are substantial gains. So anyway, I'll go into more data should you want in the future, but I can understand necessarily it could be a little bit boring, but it's a great little graphical representation of what forgiveness is like and how it works, etc. Anyway, hope you liked the video. If you did, click that little like button below, subscribe, little red button below that, and also the little bell icon. If you can whack that, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. So comment below, hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.